Right, Counterpunch Boxing. What's up, YouTube? Oscar De La Hoya, Counterpunch Boxing, First Take, Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith. It doesn't get any better. Come on, does it get any better? All right. In a recent interview, we're going to go over it today because a couple of revealing things from the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. You know, this guy, first, let me get this out of the way. He has got to be like one of the best salesmen I think I've ever seen. I mean, this guy literally sold us Amir Khan, Liam Smith, Chavez, and now Golovkin. You know, it's like, look, you give me three, I'll give you one, okay? I mean, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, look, what they talked about, a couple of new things. You know, Max Kellerman, he's always got this look right here like, I'm about to get this motherfucker, watch. You know, yeah, that's why I like Kellerman, I do. But, okay, first of all, he talked about Canelo Chavez, how, you know, Canelo finally got a feel for middle. I can't even say it. I can't say it without laughing. He said Canelo finally got a feel for 160 pounds. You know, he finally got a taste of what that feels like in the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight. Now, come on, Oscar. We know Canelo has weighed north of 160. Go back to Angulo, okay? Probably even Kirkland, Cotto. I mean, who knows? Maybe not Erislandy Lara, but at least 3 or 4, I'd say 4 times he's been over 160 on fight night. So I thought it was kind of comical that, you know, he was like, yeah, you know, Canelo finally got a feel for, you know, what it feels like at middleweight, you know, and I think, you know, and now he's ready for Golovkin. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what is this guy talking about, you know? But he did say, you know, I guess you have to give him a little bit of props, okay? I'm not, you know, look, I'm not dogging on Oscar because you do have to give him a little bit of props, okay? Because he said, I didn't wait a year and a half. I didn't wait 6-7 years like Mayweather Pacquiao. You know, it took about a year and a half back when people started talking about the fight. And, you know, a year and a half later, here we are, September 2nd. But, you know, then there's that, you know, that big, like, but, you hit the brakes, hold up, wait a minute, right? Before we got that, we got Amir Khan, Smith, and Chavez. That's the issue the boxing fans have. And, you know, this whole acclimation shit, how he needs to acclimate, and then he jumps in there with Chavez above middleweight and pulling up Amir Khan. You know, it's just like these guys are all over the map. But they're, at the end of the day, they're money motivated, okay? They're money motivated. But one thing, Kellerman, which I like, again, you know, Max, he got him. He talked about the sparring. You know, that infamous sparring session that, by the way, my video is going viral. Right now I have nearly 50, I have like 48,000 views on my Canelo Golovkin sparring video. And here's the thing, if you search that in YouTube, my video pops up top 2, top 3. So I guarantee you, Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo, Golovkin, Kellerman, one of these guys, they've watched my video. Because, like I said, you can punch it in right now. Just type in Canelo Golovkin sparring, and there it is up top, Counterpunch Boxing. So I would bet, I'd bet $1 million one of these guys has actually seen my video. And look, that's what I try to tell you guys, that, you know, YouTube can be a powerful weapon. I mean, you think about this. The channel right now, look, since I started talking about Canelo and the catch weights and all that, I've got at least 250,000 views on that subject alone. So think about it. That's 250,000 people that I've reached and that I've told the truth to, and that I've planted a seed. I've changed their mind. I've shined light on the subject, okay? I mean, that is a powerful thing, right? I mean, just take that in for a minute. Okay, you take Dallas Cowboy Stadium, fill it up 3 times. That's how many people I've reached with the whole Canelo situation. Okay, so it's powerful when you look at it like that, to think, damn, you know, like look at this, like my Canelo Golovkin sparring video right now is enough people to fill up half a Cowboy Stadium. That's how many views I have. So it is a powerful thing. So that's why I'm careful what I say on here. I don't want to put out a bunch of junk. But when he asked him about the sparring, he kind of skirted the question. Max Kellerman said, you know, hey, Doug Fisher, you know, wrote a blog. He was there. He, you know, gave his eyewitness account. And Kellerman has even mentioned, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that can be found. These guys are always talking about YouTube, but basically Oscar said. He said that he's got a lot of cojones, talking about Canelo. But he was saying, yeah, Canelo wasn't afraid to get in there and spar. That's all he could say, that he wasn't afraid. He didn't say he did well. He didn't say he did good. He didn't give any kind of detail. He just said, well, he's got a lot of balls. He got in there and he did it, okay? And then he went on to say, well, Canelo has improved. His defense, everything has improved so much. And then he was talking about how Canelo's great on the ropes. He's like, look at Canelo on the ropes, and he's improved dramatically. Well, he has. I mean, of course he's gotten better. Every boxer is going to evolve and get better. But what he's referring to as on the ropes, he's referring to when Chavez had him on the ropes. But I mean, look, it's a different story when you have Chavez and Golovkin and you're up against the ropes. Okay, I mean that's just night and day, apples to oranges. Okay, you cannot compare a Chavez on the ropes, and hopefully that's not what he's thinking in his mind. Well, if Canelo can handle Chavez up against the ropes, he can handle Golovkin. I mean, and it almost seemed that's where he was going with that. But he did say, look, both guys are in their prime. I want a Hagler-Hearns fight, and he said this is a true, legit, 100% middleweight fight. No bullshit, no catch weights, 10-ounce gloves, no rehydration clause. I mean, this is stuff that we wanted to hear and we wanted to know about, but really the rehydration clause, of course there's going to be no rehydration clause. Why? Because Golovkin walks around at 170. So he's not going to come in. They don't need to worry about it. They don't need to worry about that 170 or a rehydration on Golovkin's end. It's Canelo that could possibly come in heavier. I think Canelo will be heavier on fight night. I really do, to try to absorb those shots. But, I like that he said, the 10-ounce gloves. That was really important. And by the way, you guys need to watch these videos in landscape mode. Hit that little zoom button or that box in the right-hand corner. I make all my videos full screen, so when you hit, full screen, they'll pop up and fill up everything, So I don't know if you guys know that or not, but just a quick little thing there. But yeah, so, and then they went on to talk about how Oscar fought everyone in his career after he took control of his career. I like that how Max Kellerman said, look, Oscar, once you took control of your career, you fought everyone out there. And he did, so in other words, he was saying you're interfering with Canelo's career. Which, look, I've always been an advocate of a boxer they can pick who they want to fight, especially someone like Canelo. If he wanted Golovkin a year and a half ago when he had the WBC, or a year ago after the Cotto fight, he could have simply went to Oscar and said, look, I want this fight, make it happen, or, I'll take a fucking dive in my next, make it happen. You better make it happen, and it would get done, okay? So, and then he went on to, you look, real quick, I kind of think ESPN is trolling Canelo. Why would they put this picture of him? You know what I mean? It's almost like a little subtle troll there. You got a nice, normal picture of Golovkin, and then you got that right there. It looks like he's, trying to, I don't know, not talk, or he's, holding his breath or something. It's weird. But I noticed that right away. I was like, why would they put that picture up? But anyway, so he goes on to criticize Mayweather and Conor McGregor. And look, he's pissed about this. Now, he wrote an open letter. You guys can just Google Oscar de la Hoya open letter. He wrote an open letter basically expressing his displeasure in the fight, and calling it basically a mockery, making a mockery of boxing, and blah blah blah. But again, isn't that rich, right? Isn't that just rich, coming from a guy who just sold us Amir Khan and a bullshit Chavez, right? So I mean, look, these promoters, they none of them have any right to point the finger at anyone, because they're all guilty of it. So now, one thing, they talked about Mayweather McGregor being on September 16th, and as of now, it's not going to, which I'm happy. Why? Because I want the Gennady Golovkin Canelo fight. I want it to be huge. I want it to be big, okay, as big as can be. Right now, like I said, I'm thinking 1.4, 1.5 million buys is what I'm thinking. But I mean, if you had these two these two pay-per-view, one on Showtime, one on HBO, the same night, September 16th. I mean, yeah, sure, it'd be an exciting night, okay, but I think one would take away from the other, and I think Mayweather, he's smart enough to know that the Canelo-Golovkin fight will take a lot of shine off of his fight. So then they talked about the loss to Mayweather, and he's like, look, Canelo has lost before, and he's not afraid to lose again. So, they're constantly talking about losing, and he said everyone is counting Canelo out, and he's like, but Canelo's never been in this situation where everyone is counting him out. People are just, basically we're all waiting to see Canelo get in there and get slaughtered by Gennady Golovkin. But will it happen? I don't know. I'm not going to give my prediction. I'm not going to tell you guys what I think until later, but Oscar's, like I say, he's just saying everyone's counting him out, and right now Canelo is the underdog, on the Vegas betting odds, and really all around the world, even over in the UK, he is the underdog. So, how's that taste, buddy? But look, right there, Mayweather working that jab. I think Golovkin, he has a reach advantage over Canelo, so hopefully he'll get that, and he'll work behind the jab during the fight. But Canelo got him a little tattoo there. Looks like like a throne, like a king thing or whatever, like a king's throne, like an emoji. But yeah. So look, check it out. I'll leave you with this picture. I'm working on a really good, informative Golovkin video, and I think, look, I'm going to give this guy a shout out. I watched a couple of videos on his channel, okay? It's a guy from Karaganda, Karaganda, where Gennady Golovkin in Kazakhstan. So I watched a video of this guy's. He had 2 or 3, and it was very inspiring, like a lot of really good information in there. So I'm going to put together my own video, but it's kind of inspired by his video. And of course, I'm going to give him a shout out and put them in the description box below so you guys can check on it. But I'm working on that, very informative. And basically what it is, it's an answer to all the trolls, to all the criticism that Golovkin faces, right? Like, he's only fighting bums, he's old, he's this, he's that, his pay-per-view numbers. Like, this guy really did his homework and put things into a whole new light, and I'm going to show that to you pretty soon. And I think, I'm excited about it, but I want to take my time with it, and I really want to study it and be able to, present it well. I don't want to just slap it together, because it's not, that would be an injustice. I really need to take my time and do a good job on it. So, but anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I mean, what do you think? Oscar de la Hoya, I guess this is it. This is the real deal. I'm waiting for an injury. I'm waiting for, and like Stephen A. Smith, he was like, where's the catch? I mean, he's like, Oscar, where's the catch? Like, is there a rehydration clause? I mean, is Canelo going to wear 10-ounce gloves and Golovkin's going to wear like 14, 16 ounce? He's like, where's the catch? And he said, no, this is a true blue middleweight fight, but there's got to be a catch. Look, there's always a catch, but, especially Canelo with this A-side bull, oh, I'm A-side this, A-side that, which is false. I mean, you're coming into Gennady Golovkin's territory. He is the king of the middleweight division, not you. So you are therefore the B-side. Okay, you are the challenger. He is the champion. There's a difference. You're not coming in with a belt. You gave him that belt. That belt he's wearing, you handed it over. You just cowered out and handed him that belt. So don't dare call yourself A-side. You cannot do that. That's against the boxing rules. You can't give someone a belt and then call yourself the A-side. It just doesn't happen. But I'm excited for the fight. It's going to be a good fight. But as I said, I am waiting for the catch. So anyway, guys, leave your comment below. What do you think?